Financial services. We are locals who support and sponsor numerous events in our community. Welcome to an
So, Hardcore Henry, let's talk about it. So, if you want action in a movie, it's the movie to watch. Because from start to finish, it's just action-packed. Every second on screen, there's some action going on. And that could be tiring for some people. To me, it wasn't. It's a very entertaining movie. There are a few questions a lot of people have. One being, does it make you dizzy? Yes. But very briefly. There's only a few scenes where I was like, okay, keep the camera still for a bit. But for the most part, I was very well filmed. It did not get dizzy much at all. The other question is, do you feel like the person? Me? No. No, I felt like I was watching a movie the entire time. Is that a bad thing? No, not. They're going for, you feel like you're the main character. I don't think they achieve that in my view. Yeah. Now let's talk about some positive. Copley? I don't know how to pronounce your name. You got a weird name. He was awesome in this movie. I mean, he was the only real character in the movie. Like him, the bad guy, and the wife. The only people in this movie. And there's a thing with him where he's a different character in every scene in the movie. I don't want to say how they make this possible or reasonable, but they do. And every single scene is a completely different character, and I'm just like, that's refreshing. That's, for a movie with a cast of 3 people, you need someone to have an abundance of personality, and man, this guy does. Now the bad guy. He has a thing he does that's never explained. He just sort of does it. Again, I don't want to spoil anything, but they never explain how he does his thing, which kind of bugged me. But for a movie that is made solely from the perspective of the protagonist, it's hard to develop the antagonist. But by the end, you really do understand why he's doing what he's doing, and everything starts to make sense. And he's actually kind of a menacing villain. Like he's got enough of a creepy vibe to him that when he's on screen, you're just like, I don't like you. I don't know why, because you haven't been on screen very much, but I don't like you. Now the violence. It was a bit much at times. I'm not a very squeamish person, and I felt kind of uncomfortable like once or twice. But if you don't mind violence at all, for you. But if you want to see just an action movie with not that much blood or violence, 1, you're probably 13, 2, don't see this movie. You probably can't see this movie, it's rated R. Now, the ending is a bit abrupt. Like, it just sort of ends, and I'm just like, okay, that's not fulfilling. And then you start to think about it, and you're like, the entire movie, he has been making decisions for himself. Either his wife or the bad guy sort of forces him to make a decision he doesn't want to make, or Jimmy, which is Sharlto Copley's character, he sort of helps him make decisions, but he doesn't make a decision for himself to the last shot of the movie. And that sort of shows that he's become his own man, that he can live his life as his own person. So they don't actually need to show him living his life as his own person. And I'm like, that is actually kind of brilliant. My first reaction to the ending was like, this is bad, but I thought about it, and it's kind of brilliant. Now, the story felt a bit too much like a video game, because every time an action scene ends, it's kind of spoilers, not really spoil anything. If you want to go in completely blind, mute it for a minute or so, but if you don't care that I spoil something that's not actually really have to do with anything, then you could keep listening. Okay, every action scene, at the end, he gets a text message from Jimmy saying, here, go to this place, then action scene, then here, go to this place, then action scene, which, one, pretty much is just made to fill up time, and two, moves the plot along without the main character making any decisions. Because, think about it. If the main character makes his own decisions, we wouldn't feel like we're the main character, because someone else is making decisions. But if there's someone off screen telling us where to go, then we sort of have no choice, and it takes the choice away from the protagonist, again, making the ending a lot better. But it didn't make me feel like I was watching someone else play a video game because of that specific aspect of the movie. Which, if they were going for it, bravo, you nailed that right on the head. Now, main question people have is it just a gimmick and does it work? Yeah, it works. Is it perfect? No. But this is the first of its kind. The first astronauts, the rocket they took to space wasn't the best rocket ever made, but they get credit because they're the first to do it. This is not the best first-person movie we will see. It's not a perfect movie, but even though other movies will copy this, maybe not this plot, but this sort of gimmick, this sort of style, they will copy it and make it better. This movie will be recognized as the first movie to do this. This isn't a one-movie gimmick. This is something that could possibly shape the future of action movies. That's how good the action was in this movie. But the plot wasn't there. Like I said, I mean, the plot is just him, action scene, gets a text, goes somewhere else, action scene, and it's an action movie that's action for the sake of action. Which I didn't mind while watching, but thinking about it, it's not great. It's fun, action-packed, funny. I didn't say it's very humorous, and it's got a weak plot, and the villain's pretty good. Overall, 7.5 out of 10. Right in my face. 7.5 out of 10. Yeah, it's not the best type of movie that we'll see of this new sort of style, but it is still very good. You should watch it in theaters. Very good theater experience. So, that's all I got for you. Like, comment, subscribe, and follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Hopefully this video I will remember to put my Instagram and Twitter name on the next slide. Yeah, have a nice day, you lovely people.